Hello, everyone, and welcome to another lesson. We all have one of those Gmail inboxes that we created years ago. Was maybe one of the first emails that you ever created, and within that email, there are like tons and tons and tons of emails, and Google starts to take fees from you because the your inbox is almost full, and you can't even comprehend how you're gonna clean up that inbox or how you can start labeling new emails that come. So today we're gonna do just that, and this is the perfect example of how an AI automation can fix an issue, can save you time, and can fix an issue. Today we're gonna do a workflow that does exactly that. That can go ahead and label all your emails, go through thousands of emails. And we can also set up a new workflow that gets triggered whenever a new email comes in and it labels it exactly where it should. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go to n8n. All right, so in this one, I have a new workflow here. The first thing I like to do is start by renaming. So I'm going to name this email AI agent. Okay, so this one is done. Let me name Bill. Now that this is done, I have my trigger, which is the first step in every automation. It's what gets the automation started. So it's the condition that automation gets started. It can be manual, it can be through external like webhooks, it can be through schedule. You can decide what you want, and it can be per app basis. And this is what we're going to do today. So I'm going to search for Gmail. So I'm going to click, and you can see they put things in groups. So we have triggers and we have actions. I want on message received. So this is exactly what I want. So, and here I can create a new, and if you're on the cloud version, it's so easy to set that up, to set your email. You just sign in. That's basically it, and you choose your account. But if you're on a self-hosted one, you need to go to Google console, API console, and get your client ID and the client secret. Okay, so I already have everything set up here, and this will basically fetch me a new email, a new test email. All right, so we did fetch a test event here, and I put filters for Google so I can get the latest email that I got from Google. And I want to turn off simplify and test again. Here you go. There you get more and more information. So this is great. So this is exactly what I want. I got one test email. I can pin this so I don't have to fetch new emails again, and I can just remove the filter so I don't need any filters. So here you can filter by by sender, by read status if it's new, if it's not read, or if it is you already read that, by label, by include spam and trash, and there you have lots of options here. Okay, and you for the polling time you have every minute, and you can specify that. So the event is message received. Perfect. So we have that in and we have that ready. Next thing I want to do, since I have all of these new things that I got from here, new fields, I need to create a new set variables node so that I can start by taking whatever I want. So I know for sure that I want the ID. So I'm going to grab this here. And I know for sure that I want the date, which should be here somewhere. So let's close these. Yeah, there we go, date. And I know I want the name for sure. So the name of the sender here, this was from Google. And I know I want the from, so that the email, and then I'll get the email address from here. And I know I want the subject. of the email. So the subject can be found here. Did I take the date? I did. I know I want the content. So the content of the email. So this is important. Let's go ahead and get the content of the email and I'll get the text version of that. So now I have all of these here. So I just cherry picked all the variables that I need. All right. So that one is set. So I have all my variables now ready. Now I can feed that into an AI agent. So I'm going to go to AI and AI agent. So I'm going to name this as AI label agent. And then I don't want it to be connected to a chat. I want to define the prompt below. I know that I want a specific JSON output. Let's connect it to a brain. And for that, I like to use OpenRouter. If you don't know, OpenRouter is a service that gets you connected to all the AI models in one place. You can just sign up to that, and then you'll have access to all of these models. Okay, everything. And you just put some amount of money in there and you get access to everything. So I have that set up. And for the prompt, so I have already written a good prompt here. First of all, I'm gonna define the variables. So I know I want email, name, date, subject, and email content. And I know I want a system message. And for the system message is we're gonna tell it what it should do. Okay, so here I can put that. So I have here the labels. I have sales, support, HR, marketing, financial, legal. So you can you can adjust all your labels here as you please. Okay. So I want now to include a parser so that it knows that it needs to output it in a specific way. And for the parser, I'm going to simply only require a label output. Okay, so I can run this and I can see now I have a label of notification, which is great. This is exactly what I want. So let me pin just so we're testing. So let's pin and not use any more resources. So now I have everything I need. I have the label. I have every variable that I want. Now I can get all labels that I already have. So Gmail, I'll go to Gmail. And then I want to label actions, get many labels. So this gets me all the labels. So if I head up to my email here, as you can see, I have my labels here set. Now you can add a label by clicking the plus icon and writing things down. So every label has let me go back. Every label has a label ID and we'll see that. So I'm going to get the labels, get many. And you can limit, but let's get many. So I have 23 that came back. But notice that I want you to notice the type. So these are system based. So these labels are the ones that the system created. They have a name and they have an ID. If you go forward and see the user created, which is the one that we created, the sales, marketing, support, financial, right? So these are user created. So I got 23. I want to filter those for only the ones that have the type as user. I'm going to name this filter user created because I don't want the ones that are system created. Let me run this. So now we have only 9 items back and we can see they are all user. So those are the ones that we created. And what's important is the ID here. Okay, let's keep that in mind because that's what we want. So now we have 9 items. So everything that we're going to do here is going to be executed 9 times. And for our case, we don't want that. And in order to fix that, we can do the aggregate. And if you're a make.com user, it is very similar to iterate and aggregate, right? So I'm going to aggregate everything that I'm getting here into one single field. Now we have data and we have every label in here, which is exactly what we want. So I'm going to name this aggregate all labels. So now we have all labels within one node. Okay. So let me first clean things up here, like a little bit here, like that. All right. So get some space. So now we have all the labels and we have the label that got exported from here by the agent. So we have the notification label. So the idea here, I want to match basically this label with the bunch of labels that we have here. Okay, with the name. So I want to match the name with the name from here. And whatever is matched, get me the label ID of that. Okay? This way, I will get then the ID of whatever the agent has created. In order to do that, now for sure you can add another AI agent here, but anything that you can do with a code node is a win because that's saving you money and saving you processing power because code nodes are very, very fast. So in order to do that, I have a code node. I asked ChatGPT about this and it gave me the code. So I have the code node here. So I'm going to name this getting label ID. So if I execute this now, there you go. It gives me the label ID of whatever the agent chose. So ending 4360. So if we search here ending 4360, there you go, notification. And it's exactly what the agent gave us. So now we have mostly everything we need. So we only now, we managed to know the label. AI agent managed to know that. And now we know the label ID of whatever the agent chose. Now it's only about assigning that label to the email. And for that, we go to Gmail. And I want to add label to message. Perfect. So this is the last step of the process. And here, what I want to do is I need two things. I need the label ID and I need the message ID. The label ID, we already got that from the previous step. I can just drag it. And the ID, the email ID, we did set that up in the set variables. So now I have that here. Okay, so now let's save this. Let's save that. And if I just check my email here, I can see that the Google email is still not labeled. I'll run this and check things out. So now it's finished. Let me go back. And as you can see, it labeled it as notification, which is exactly what we want. Now, notice guys that now we're done with this and we can activate this. And then every new email that comes, it gets labeled. And this saves us a lot of time. And this cleans up our inbox so much in a very, very clean way, right? This is one of the workflows that you want to have always on, right? Every email that you get, it cleans it up for you. So I'm going to save this and I'm going to download this for you guys and make it available inside of the community. Now, that being said, what if I want to clean all the past messages? And this is very simple. To do that, we only need a variation of this one. So most of the things that we set here are good. What we only need is to, let's go to Gmail. And I want to get messages, get many messages. There you go. So what this does is it gets us all the past messages. And then you can limit it here. Let me limit it to 10. But if you if you press return all, it will return all of the emails. Okay. So you can clean up all your inbox. And let me turn off simplify. Okay. So this will get us 10 emails. There you go. It got us 10 email. Limit of 10 email has reached. Perfect. So it got us 10 emails. Now what we need to do is, since we're going to loop over each one, right? So we're probably going to use the loop over. We're going to use the loop over, right? So let me go here, loop over items. And then let me make this quite big. And what we want is basically, we want to do that for every message, right? And we only need to copy these, right? Actually, let me make a new workflow for that. Okay, so this is the new workflow. I'm gonna copy this one here, paste it in here. I'm gonna name this. Okay, so for the past email. So now that I have this here, I want to add a manual trigger because this is something that you don't do always. It's a cleanup phase, so it has to be clicked manually. Okay, it doesn't get activated. And then I can come here, sorry, here, delete this. And then I come here and I grab all of these and paste them here. And I'll delete this because I don't need that. I can get the 10 items here again and pin. And then every item that comes in, I want it to get looped by this one. Okay, so, okay. So now I can put that in here. And then when it finishes, it goes back to here. There you go. Okay, so now this one will loop over 10 items. Let's test that out. I'm going to save and I'm going to execute. So as you can see, it's doing one by one, until it reaches the 10th one. Now that I have this, so I have this to run in order to clean up whatever email I want. I have it limit to 10, but if I want to turn on do all, then it will do every email that I have inside of my inbox. So everyone, today we did 2 workflows that help us clean up our email, put in the appropriate labels where needed. The first one is we did this workflow that gets triggered by every email that lands in our Gmail inbox. Then we take the variables necessary, we assign a label to that based on the AI agent label, and then we will get the labels that we already have. We'll filter for the ones that we created. We'll aggregate them all together. We'll match the label with the ID, and then we'll assign it to the message. And this is one of the automations that you should always have on to clean up your inbox. And then we have another one, which is manually executed, that gets us all the past messages, all the emails if we want, or we can limit it to like 50 or 100. It will loop over each one of those and will do exactly the body of this one, okay? So I will provide both of these workflows inside of my community so you guys can download and import them inside of your n8n instance by clicking these 3 dots and import from file. As long you'll also get lots of courses, lots of workflows, lots of documentations, discounts inside of my Skool community. I hope I'll see you inside. If you did like this lesson, please give it a like, subscribe for more videos, and I will see you in the next one.